Goofiness is a character trait loved and hated by many. Because of this, not a lot of people are willing to give certain characters a chance. Some people think that Monkey D. Luffy is an inbred. Some people think Zenitsu's a flipping pussy. Some people think Mater from Cars sleeps with his cousin. Now, even though some of this shit is probably true, there's a bigger question that must be asked and then answered. What happens when these goofy mother effers lock in? To lock in is to reach a state of intense focusedness, free from distractions so that you can reach or achieve a certain goal. Like Bruce Lee said, flow like water, sting like a bee. And in this video, I myself am gonna be locking in, showing you and reminding you of some of the goofiest characters that have some of the craziest lock-in moments. Whether they be from anime or TV or movie, it don't matter. The goal of this video is to make you look and take a step back and be like, whoa. Just because a character looks or acts lame doesn't mean they are lame. In fact, these characters are tough as shit. But what better way to start off this list with one of the goofiest, toughest characters that the world has ever seen? Saitama from One Punch Man. In a world overly saturated with bummy superheroes, at first glance you'd think the slaphead Saitama wouldn't stand a chance. Wrong! Saitama with 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run, and some serious adaptation, stands tall and ends up being the strongest character of all time, not just in his verse, but in every other flipping verse as well. Yes, power scalers, Saitama beats the shit out of Goku. Don't kill me, nigga. I'm trolling, my dude. I'm just a humble guy chatting shit. In anime, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it appears that there's this weird correlation in the strength and the goofiness of your character. Every time he's on screen, nobody can take this punk seriously. He himself is rarely ever taking anything seriously. He doesn't even take himself seriously. Even the people animating him and drawing him can't even take him seriously. Look at them crayon eater level doodles, bro. Despite this, even though his goofiness is kind of a gag, it's really not a gag. It does have crucial significance to the character of One Punch Man. He rarely ever takes anything seriously because he's too strong to take anything seriously, leading to goofy moments like these. But when the iconic One Punch Man locks in, you seriously can't miss it, bro. Seriously, because he has this deadly moveset called the Serious Series, where he basically announces to the world, hey, look guys, I'm trying now. Saitama trying is literally an end of days flipping experience for anybody he's versing. A flipping rapture, bro. Genos, his cyberkinetic sidekick, whined and begged for his master Saitama to take the fight seriously. And out of the kindness of Saitama's heart, it was like, alright little bro, let me put the doggy back in his kennel. No way. And just flexed on him without even touching him. He did the exact same thing to the Cyclops. He didn't even try for that one-eyed fool, bro. And the scariest part about this character is that even when he locks in, he's never ever really trying. We don't even know if he's ever taken anything seriously a day in his life. Even when he says serious series, my guy is truly just longing for a top-class opponent that can make him fight with all his heart. He is so flipping lonely, but the only words I can muster for my guy is that yes, bro, it be lonely at the top, but sometimes you just gotta admire the view. Anyway, moving on from one slaphead to another, my young egg-headed brother, Avatar Aang. My brother Avatar Aang sure knows the definition of goofy, bro. Because he himself is just a kid, and we all know how kids get down, am I right, David? Never ever really taking anything seriously, always cracking jokes, looking stupid, looking for the next laugh or adventure in their lives. The true essence of childhood. But unfortunately, Avatar Aang carries a heavy burden, a burden that forces him to abandon his childhood and lock in. He is the Avatar, a special being with a reincarnation cycle that must master the 4 elements, and then he must save the world. That is too much for a child to bear, bro. He's gotta grow up and become a man. He must lock in, and my guy, when Aang locks in, the easygoing goofy airbender is gone and he's replaced with pure cosmic aura. The Siege of the North. Avatar Aang is like, alright bro, watch me move this shit, bitch. And he's like, water, 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 obey me, water. And he becomes a water Godzilla, smacking all the ships across the Atlantic. Or when they take his bison and he's like, what? You took Appa? How dare you? Lock in! What is his most important lock in moment? when he must fight the Fire Lord Ozai, the guy that is basically trying to destroy the entire world. This dude is 12 years old fighting a grown-ass man with a terrible beard. And guess what? He grabs him by his terrible beard and he's like, yo, Unc, you know who the flip I am? I'm the flipping Avatar. You should be fighting someone your own age. Slow-mo, block. Take that nigga bending. So many moments like that scattered throughout the series where he's forced to lock in and abandon his childhood. And I'm like, damn, man, that is so sad. But thank you for providing me with some cool ass shit to watch on my screen as a kid. Anyway, moving on to the most famous fat panda the world has ever seen. Po from Kung Fu Panda. This guy was stuck in a kitchen. This guy was a flipping chef, washing dishes, scrubbing pots. He had nothing going for him, bro. But lo and behold, he ended up at this Kung Fu ceremony and he got to see the Furious 5 and they were selecting a new Dragon Warrior. And he was like, oh, I want to see who the new Dragon Warrior is. And it turned out to be him. And now he's got a new weight of responsibility on his shoulders. No more is he destined to be scrubbing pots in the flipping kitchens. To cope with his fatness and calorie intake, he ends up being a goofball, messing shit up, making jokes, cracking jokes, yada yada yada. But what happens when this goofy loving panda locks in? He may only lock in when there's food on his plate, but he also locks in when shit gets dangerous. One of the greatest lock-in moments, fuck it, in cinema history is when Po versus Tai Lung. Tai Lung is a disgraced warrior. He thought he would be the Dragon Warrior, but it turns out he's not. Tai Lung can't even take this panda seriously. He's like, yo, what are you gonna do on me, big guy?
Sit on me?
So after smacking this kitty cat up and down Chinatown, Po is like, whooshy finger.
I'm not a big fat panda. I'm the big fat panda. The whooshy finger hold? Oh, you know this hold. You're bluffing. You're bluffing.
But his best lock-in moment is probably against Lord Shen. Lord Shen wiped out Po's entire clan and is here to finish the job and shoots a cannonball at Po. Po is like, no, inner peace, inner peace, and then hits him with a mean skadoosh. Bro basically saves the day and everybody was hating on him because he was fat. Treated like shit because of his appearance, and then they learned to love him because, you know what, it's not how you look, it's how you act. Just because he's a fat panda doesn't mean he can't whoop ass. Now moving on to my favorite Goofy character, probably of all time. You can't have this video without him, bro. He's probably tied with Saitama in terms of goofiness. Probably not. He's probably way worse. You all know him. You probably would have heard of him. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy started out as a dumb kid who wanted to be king of the pirates. He was like, oh, I want to go out to sea because freedom is at the sea. So he's a stretchy gum rubber man. He probably has one of the goofiest powers in the show, which is quite funny because it suits his entire being. He comes up with weird combinations, weird maneuvers, weird upgrades. Gear 1, Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4, Gear 5. Gear 5, his strongest being the most goofy. Goofy Luffy. He's such a goofy character. When I first watched One Piece, I was like, get this motherfucker off my screen. There's no way I'm gonna watch this shit if it's gonna be like this all the time. But boy, was I wrong, dude. Genuinely, I don't know if anybody in this world could make rubbery powers look as cool as he does. Don't tell me about Reed Richards, bro. He needs to get his chick back. Alright, even though he is cool, even though Luffy is one of my favorite characters, he is the dumbest character in fiction. He probably rides multiple short buses. This character literally almost made me change the title of my video from when the goofiest characters lock in to when the dumbest characters lock in, man. But Luffy has a very redeemable trait that makes him so likable to the point that no matter how many short buses he rides, I will still fuck with him. He will always lock in when it comes to protecting his friends. His friends are the reason he will always lock in. When Nami's village gets gangbanged by a bunch of sharks, when Robin gets fucking kidnapped and taken by the government, he will stand there to be like, no, never. Take my friends away from me. But let me tell you my favorite lock-in moment from my favorite Goofy character. In Sabudi Archipelago, a One Piece arc, Luffy is faced with a king. This king is being racist to a bunch of fishmen, and he's shooting and cussing out everybody, bro. And he ends up shooting his fishman friend. And his fishman friend is like, no, don't do it, Luffy. That's the king you're talking to. The king will kill us all. Don't worry, I'm just a fish. Don't worry about it. And at that point, Luffy looked at the fish and he was like, bro, you're my friend. I don't care if it's a flipping god that shoots you. The fact he shoots you means he's my enemy. And then Luffy struts his stuff, struts his shit up the stairs, and he's like, what? You think you're a god? And he's like, yo, go back to your manga. Bah! One of my favorite aspects of shows in general is when there's multifaceted aspects to a character. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious. Take Bakugo for instance. I just like being surprised in certain scenarios. Like, oh, he's actually locking in now. What the fuck? Anyway, that's it guys. When the goofiest characters lock in. Let me know if there's any other goofy characters that I didn't mention in this video that you would like to have seen. Maybe do a part 2 maybe. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, thanks for watching.